Tonight we travel north, to the land of ice and fire, of longships and legends. I am Dr. Sleep History, and tonight I will share with you 100 things you never knew about the Vikings. We will visit their longhouses and their longships, their feasts and their funerals. We will meet their gods and their warriors, their women and their children. We will sail with them to Iceland and Greenland, and to the shores of North America, 500 years before Columbus. So settle in, pull your blanket a little closer, close your eyes, and let the Norse world carry you to sleep. Fact 1. The Vikings rose daily at dawn, a time when the first light pierced through the longhouse's smoke hole. This was their alarm clock, nature's symphony to begin their day. Fact 2. 2 meals were consumed each day by these seafarers, a hearty breakfast before setting sail or beginning chores, and a substantial supper once the sun had set. Meal times were communal, bonds forged over shared provisions. Fact 3. Skyer, a fermented milk product akin to yogurt, was a staple food in their diet. It was consumed daily, providing sustenance and strength for the rigorous tasks ahead. Imagine the creamy texture and tangy taste on your tongue as you drift off. Fact 4. The Vikings were renowned for their cleanliness, far exceeding medieval standards. They bathed regularly, not merely monthly like many of their contemporaries. Fact 5. Soap was crafted from a combination of wood ash, lye, and animal fat, creating a cleansing agent that left skin soft and refreshed. It was a simple luxury, but one they valued greatly. Fact 6. Long hair was a symbol of virility for Viking men. They kept it well maintained, combing it daily with intricately designed combs made from bone or antler. Listen to the gentle scraping sound as you envision this grooming ritual. Fact 7. Women, too, took pride in their locks, often braiding them in intricate styles. These plaits served both practical purposes and aesthetic ones, showcasing their craftsmanship and cultural identity. Fact 8. Sleeping arrangements were on raised wooden platforms known as lagladir. They served to keep inhabitants off the cold earthen floor, providing a measure of warmth and comfort. Fact 9. Animal fur blankets provided insulation against the often harsh Scandinavian climate. Picture the soft rustle of these hides as you settle into your own bed. Fact 10. Longhouses were designed with a central fire pit, smoke rising up through an opening in the roof. This layout fostered communal living, warmth, and light amidst the long winter nights. Fact 11. Board games held significant importance among the Vikings. One such game was Nefatafl, played on a board of 7x7 or 9x9 squares with pieces representing opposing forces. Fact 12. The game's name translates to tables, reflecting its role as a pastime enjoyed around communal feasting tables after long days of labor or battle. Fact 13. Cats were welcomed into Viking households not just for companionship, but also as efficient rodent controllers. They prowled the shadows of longhouses, keeping pests at bay. Fact 14. Personal hygiene extended to dental care. The Vikings used chew sticks made from small tree branches to clean their teeth daily. Hear the soft scraping sound against your teeth as you relax into sleep. Fact 15. Clothing was practical yet stylish, with wool being the fabric of choice due to its warmth and durability. Garments were dyed using natural pigments derived from plants and minerals. Fact 15. Men typically wore tunics and trousers, while women donned long dresses called kirtles, adorned with embroidery or woven patterns reflecting their social status. Fact 17. Jewelry served as both ornamentation and wealth storage. Brooches, armbands, and necklaces crafted from precious metals and gemstones were highly valued possessions. Fact 18. Personal grooming also involved keeping facial hair well groomed. Beards were often oiled to keep them lustrous and clean, a reflection of the wearer's health and vitality. Fact 19. Hairstyles evolved over time, reflecting changing fashions and influences from various cultures encountered during their extensive travels. Yet, long hair remained a consistent symbol of strength and pride among both men and women. Fact 20. Despite their fearsome reputation, the Vikings led complex lives filled with routine tasks, family bonds, and personal rituals. As you close your eyes tonight, imagine the rhythm of life within a Viking settlement, and let that peaceful rhythm lull you to sleep. Fact 21. Viking women could initiate divorce proceedings and retain their property. In a society often perceived as male-dominated, these women asserted their independence. They were not merely passive figures, but active participants in legal and economic matters. Fact 22. While men ventured forth on raids or trade expeditions, women managed the farms and households. This was no small task. They oversaw agriculture, animal husbandry, and the daily lives of children and elders. The absence of men did not render these women helpless, but rather empowered them to lead. Fact 23. Shield maidens, female warriors, were indeed a reality in Viking society. Though rare, their existence challenges stereotypes about Viking gender roles. These women fought alongside men, proving that courage and skill knew no gender boundaries. Fact 24. Children were not named at birth, but rather during a formal ceremony held around 3 days after they were born. This tradition allowed for the possibility of changing the child's name if it was deemed unlucky or inappropriate, reflecting a superstition common among the Norse. Fact 25. Viking children played with toys that mirrored adult life and activities. Wooden swords and miniature ships were popular playthings, indicating an early introduction to the world they would grow into. These toys also served as tools for learning and practicing future roles. Fact 26. Families had surnames based on their father's name. For instance, a son of Eric was denoted as Eriksson, or son of Eriks. This naming convention provided a clear lineage tracing back to the founding patriarch of each family line. Fact 27. Longships, the quintessential Viking vessel, were constructed using a technique known as clinker building. Each plank overlapped the one below it like fish scales, creating a flexible and robust hull that could withstand rough waters. Fact 28. These sleek ships could achieve remarkable speeds, with some estimates suggesting they might reach up to 15 knots. This speed was facilitated by their narrow design and lateen sails, enabling Vikings to traverse vast distances efficiently. Fact 29. Ships were designed shallow enough to sail upstream along rivers. This allowed Vikings to venture deep into the European continent, accessing trade routes and targets for raids that would otherwise have been inaccessible. Fact 30. The Oseberg ship burial is one of the most famous and well-preserved artifacts from the Viking Age. Discovered in Norway in 1880, this 27-meter-long vessel remains an invaluable source of knowledge about Viking boat-building techniques and burial practices. Fact 31. Some ships were over 30 meters long, reflecting the grand scale of these maritime ventures. These massive vessels required significant manpower to operate effectively, but facilitated large-scale migrations and invasions across northern Europe. Fact 32. Archaeologists have uncovered evidence of women serving as crew members aboard Viking ships. Though less common than male sailors, their presence challenges traditional notions of gender roles within Norse society. Fact 33. While men often took on the role of explorers and traders, women also participated in these activities when opportunities arose. For instance, a woman named Gudrid Thorbjornsdottir accompanied Bjarni Herjolfsson on his voyages to Greenland and Newfoundland around AD 986. Fact 34. Family structures among Vikings were varied and fluid. While many lived in nuclear families consisting of parents and their children, extended family groups were also common. Such arrangements provided mutual support and cooperation among kinfolk. Fact 35. Marriages between different Viking families could forge political alliances. These unions helped to strengthen ties between clans, facilitating cooperation on various endeavors such as raids or migrations. Fact 36. In times of conflict, families would often rally together for defense against external threats. This communal spirit was essential for survival in a world filled with potential dangers and rivalries. Fact 37. Slaves played an integral role in Viking society, performing tasks that freed other members of the household to pursue more lucrative activities like farming or trade. Their presence allowed families to maintain their standard of living while men were away on expeditions. Fact 38. Children learned essential skills from a young age, under the guidance of parents and elders. Boys might learn to fight using wooden swords, while girls would acquire knowledge about weaving, cooking, and managing household affairs. Fact 39. Burial rituals varied widely among Vikings, but often reflected individual wealth and status. Some were interred with weapons, jewelry, or even entire ships as offerings for their journey into the afterlife. These graves provide insight into Viking beliefs regarding death and the hereafter. Fact 40. Despite popular depictions of Vikings as bloodthirsty raiders, peaceful trade and cultural exchange were equally important aspects of their interactions with other societies. Through these exchanges, they introduced new technologies, ideas, and goods to distant lands, while also adopting elements from other cultures into their own way of life. Fact 41. The Vikings utilized a unique navigational tool called the Sunstone, Solarstein, on cloudy days at sea. They believed this crystal could reveal the position of the sun even through thick fog or overcast skies. It's said they would hold it up to the sky, and its polarization would indicate the sun's location behind the clouds, allowing them to set a course. Fact 42. When the night was clear and stars were visible, Vikings relied on their knowledge of celestial bodies for navigation. The North Star, or Lodestar as they called it, played a significant role in guiding them northward across vast oceans. They also used constellations like the Plough to orient themselves. Fact 43. Coastlines and landmarks served as vital navigational aids for Viking explorers. They would travel along rivers and hug coasts, using distinctive features such as mountains, cliffs, or islands to guide their way. These markers were etched into their memories and passed down through generations of sailors. Fact 44. Leif Erikson, son of Eric the Red, reached North America around the year 10,000 AD. He named this new land Vinland due to its abundant grapes and fertile soil. His discovery predates Christopher Columbus's arrival by nearly 5 centuries, making him one of history's earliest known European explorers in the Americas. Fact 45. The Varangian Guard was an elite corps of Viking warriors who served the Byzantine Emperor from the late 10th century onwards. These skilled fighters hailed mainly from Sweden and Norway, earning high regard for their loyalty and valor on the battlefield. Fact 46. Berserkers were fearsome. Viking warriors known for fighting in a trance-like state of rage, believed to be induced by supernatural forces or perhaps intoxication. They were feared not just by enemies but also by their own allies, who dreaded being caught in their path during battle frenzies. Fact 47. Contrary to popular myth, Vikings did not wear horned helmets in combat. Only one such helmet has been discovered, and it was likely used for ceremonial purposes rather than warfare. In reality, Viking warriors donned simple iron or leather helmets with nose guards for protection during battles. Fact 48. Axes were more common weapons among Vikings than swords due to their versatility on the battlefield. They could be thrown like javelins at enemies or used in close combat, making them practical choices for foot soldiers and seamen alike. Safety fact. Fact 49. Swords held high status among Viking warriors. Typically owned by wealthy chieftains or elite fighters, these weapons were often intricately designed with ornate hilts and pommels, reflecting the owner's rank and wealth. They were symbols of power and prestige in Norse society. Fact 50s. Round shields made from lime wood were essential defensive tools for Vikings during battles. Colorfully painted with intricate designs, these shields provided physical protection while also serving as visual identifiers for different warrior groups on the battlefield. Fact 51. The longship was not merely a vessel designed for raiding and plundering, but also an ingenious marvel of engineering. These sleek, agile ships were built using advanced carpentry techniques, featuring both square and triangular sails that allowed them to navigate rivers and open seas alike with remarkable ease. Fact 52. When navigating treacherous waters, Vikings would often resort to poling their longships along riverbanks or coastlines. This method involved pushing off from the shore using a long pole, enabling sailors to maintain control over their vessel even in shallow waters or strong currents. Fact 53. The practice of herd service played a crucial role in maintaining Viking society's hierarchical structure. Wealthy chieftains would provide food, weapons, and protection for their followers, who in turn offered loyalty, labor, and military support when needed, fostering a sense of community and shared purpose. Norse law was complex and varied among different regions, but it generally revolved around compensation for harm or loss inflicted upon individuals or their property. The Blood Eagle ritual, though rare, involved killing an enemy by cutting open his back to resemble the wings of an eagle, signifying a victory in battle. Fact 55. Viking raiders typically targeted wealthy monasteries and churches due to their belief that these institutions possessed valuable treasures and resources. However, they also engaged in trade with various cultures across Europe and beyond, exchanging furs, honey, amber, and slaves for goods like silk, spices, and silver coinage. Fact 56. The Norse god Odin was closely associated with runes, which served as both symbols of power and tools for divination among Vikings. These intricate carvings held deep significance in Viking culture, appearing not only on weapons and jewelry, but also adorning grave markers and memorial stones. Second fact 7. Burial practices varied greatly among Vikings depending on factors such as wealth, status, and personal beliefs. Wealthier individuals often received ship burials or were interred with valuable grave goods, while poorer folk might be laid to rest in simpler graves with few or no accompanying items. Fact 58. The Viking Age was marked by rapid technological advancements in metalworking, woodcraft, and navigation techniques. These innovations enabled them to forge powerful weapons, build seaworthy vessels capable of traversing vast oceans, and develop sophisticated navigational tools for exploration. Fact 59. The Norse custom of thrall ships involved capturing slaves during raids or purchasing them from traders. Slaves were often used for labor-intensive tasks such as farming, mining, or domestic service, but could also be trained as warriors or employed in crafts like blacksmithing and jewelry making. Fact 60. As the Viking Age drew to a close around the late 11th century, many former raiders settled down and adopted Christian ways following their conversion to Christianity. However, remnants of Norse pagan beliefs persisted among some communities for generations afterwards, blending with new faiths in unique ways that reflected their rich cultural heritage. Allow yourself to drift deeper into relaxation as you imagine the rhythmic journey of Viking longships across the open sea, guided by stars and ancient knowledge. Fact 61. The Vikings revered Odin, their all-father, god of war and wisdom. A tall figure with a wide-brimmed hat, he led his army of Einherjar in Valhalla, feasting on boar flesh and mead from the goat Heidrun's udders. He traded one of his eyes for knowledge at the well of Mimir, drinking deeply from the source of wisdom. Fact 62. Thor, god of thunder and strength, wielded the mighty hammer, Mjolnir. A powerful warrior with a red beard and fierce eyes, he protected both gods and humans from the forces of chaos. His cart pulled by goats, he traveled the 9 realms, ensuring order amidst the eternal struggle. Fact 63. Freya, goddess of love, beauty, and fertility, rode her chariot drawn by cats. Her golden necklace, Brisingamen, was a gift from 4 dwarves who demanded kisses in return. She taught the art of cedar, sorcery, to both gods and mortals, weaving destinies like a spider spinning its web. Fact 64. Freya, god of peace, agriculture, and prosperity, owned the golden boar, Gullinbursti, and the magnificent ship Skidbladnir. With his radiant beard and gleaming hair, he brought abundance and fertility to lands he visited. His twin sister Freya was both his counterpart and beloved companion. Fact 65. Tyr, god of law and justice, sacrificed his right hand to Fenrir, the monstrous wolf. In exchange for binding the beast, Tyr lost his dominant limb, demonstrating his commitment to fairness and balance. He is honored as a god of oaths and agreements, ensuring trust among men. Fact 66. Heimdall, watchman of the gods, blew the horn Gjallarhorn at Ragnarok's onset. Guarding Bifrost, the rainbow bridge connecting Asgard to Midgard, he slept but little, ever vigilant against giants seeking entry. His horse, Gultopra, could traverse land, sea, and air with equal ease. Fact 67. Loki, god of mischief and trickery, bore children from various unions. With the giantess Angrboda, he fathered the wolf Fenrir and serpent Jormungandr, destined to fight Odin and Thor at Ragnarok. His shape-shifting abilities made him both ally and adversary among the gods. Fact 68. Valhalla, the great hall in Asgard, hosted fallen warriors feasting on pork and mead. Surrounded by a wall of shields, its roof was thatched with golden spears. Odin invited those killed bravely in battle to join his Einherjar, preparing for the final conflict against the forces of chaos. Fact 69. Ragnarok, the prophesied end of the world, saw gods and monsters clash in a cataclysmic battle. Asgard's walls crumbled, Fenrir swallowed Odin whole, Surtur burned the realms with his fiery sword, and Naglfar, the ship made from unburied nails of the dead, sailed onto the field. Yet 2 humans survived in a barking tree to repopulate Midgard. Fact 70. Yggdrasil, the world tree, connected 9 realms through its vast branches. 3 roots plunged deep into earth, fire, and Niflheim's realm of ice. The well of Erd beneath one root held Norns who cared for the tree, while a squirrel named Ratatoska carried messages between dragon Nidhogg below and eagle Vioroi above. Fact 71. Norse funerals involved either burial mounds or ship burials, vessels carrying the dead to the afterlife. Chieftains might be cremated on their longships, with ashes and weapons interred within a barrow. Slaves were sometimes sacrificed to serve their masters in death. Fact 72. Thralls, slaves bound by debt or crime, performed various tasks for Viking households. Some were skilled craftsmen, others laborers tending fields or working mines. Upon death, they might be buried with their owners, continuing service even beyond the grave. Fact 73. Vikings traded furs, amber, walrus ivory, and slaves along established trade routes. Amber from the Baltic, furs from Scandinavia, and ivory tusks from walruses hunted in the Arctic were prized commodities exchanged for silver and other goods. Fact 74. Hack silver, cut-up silver objects weighed on small scales, served as currency among Vikings. They used weights called tariers to measure values precisely, with 1 mark equivalent to approximately 2 pounds of silver. This system facilitated trade across vast distances. Fact 75. Viking traders reached Constantinople, known as Miklagard, where they encountered wealth beyond their dreams. Exotic goods like spices, silk, and precious metals flowed into the northerly realms, exchanged for furs and other northern wares. Many Vikings joined Varangian Guard, elite imperial bodyguards. Fact 76. Baghdad, the city of round minarets and shimmering spires, welcomed Viking merchants seeking luxury goods. They traded along the Tigris River, exchanging amber, swords, and falcons for spices, textiles, and gold dinars. Some settled among the Caliphate's many houses of learning. Fact 77. The Silk Road connected Viking traders to the Islamic world, facilitating exchange between East and West. Through intermediaries like the Volga Bulgars, Vikings traded goods along this ancient network stretching from China to Constantinople. They returned home with silks, porcelain, and tales of distant lands. Fact 78. Birka, a bustling trading hub on Sweden's eastern coast, attracted merchants from across Europe and beyond. Established in the 8th century, it hosted an annual market where Vikings traded goods and news alongside Franks, Arabs, and Greeks. Excavations reveal its multicultural character through artifacts left behind. Fact 79. Viking Age runestones stand testament to their prowess as traders, warriors, and travelers. Erected along trade routes and at home, these tall stones bear intricate carvings depicting voyages, battles, and family genealogies. Many commemorate those who journeyed far afield in search of fortune or adventure. Fact 80. The Oseberg ship burial, discovered in a richly appointed grave mound near Oslo, revealed the opulence of Viking funerals. Buried alongside a high-ranking woman, this 27-meter longship bore intricate carvings and a richly decorated cart. Artifacts found within included bedding, tools, food, and even a bronze cauldron filled with iron nails, all intended for use in the afterlife. As embers fade and shadows lengthen, let these tales of ancient gods, heroic battles, and far-flung journeys lull you into slumber. Drift among the 9 realms, accompanied by the whispers of old Norse legends. May dreams find you amidst the golden halls of Valhalla, where feasting never ends, and mead flows freely from the goat Hydrun's udders. Sleep well, dear listener, beneath the watchful gaze of Odin Allfather, who sees all and knows more. Fact 81. Eric the Red discovered Greenland. In an ironic twist, this Viking explorer named his icy discovery Greenland, hoping its inviting moniker would lure settlers to the inhospitable land he'd been exiled from. Picture Eric standing tall amidst the snow, his breath visible in the cold air, as he gazes upon the vast white expanse and whispers, "Greenland." Fact 82. The Viking parliament was called the Thing. an assembly of free men gathering annually. The Thing, or Althing in Iceland, was where laws were made and disputes settled. Envision the scene, a sea of faces under the open sky, each voice adding to the symphony of democracy's first stirrings. Fact 83. Old Norse gave us Thursday. Days of the week bear testament to Viking deities. Thursday is Thor's day, honoring the god of thunder and strength, his mighty hammer Mjolnir echoing in its name. Hear the rhythm of the week. Monday for Moon, Tuesday for TL, Wednesday for Woden, Thursday for Thor. Fact 84. Wednesday is Woden's day. This day pays tribute to Odin, the Allfather, wise and mysterious god of war and wisdom. As Wednesday wanes into Thursday, imagine Odin, one eye gleaming with ancient knowledge, watching over the week's progress. Fact 85. Berserk means bear shirts in Old Norse. These warriors wore bear pelts into battle, invoking animalistic fury, their frenzied courage striking fear into enemies. Feel the weight of the bear pelt on a Viking's shoulders, its fur bristling with untamed power. Fact 86. Skull means hide in Old Norse. This word has journeyed through time, its meaning shifting from concealment to bone. Picture a Viking, his face painted for battle, hiding behind his shield, the skull protecting his true self. Fact 87. Slaughter and ransack also hail from Old Norse. These words echo with tales of plunder, their harsh consonants resonating like clashing steel on shields. Visualize Vikings sweeping through villages, the very air thick with the sounds of conquest. Fact 88. Runes were carved into stone, wood, and bone. These ancient symbols held power beyond writing, believed to possess magical properties. See a Viking chiselman, his breath frosting in the cold as he etches runes onto an oak plank, each mark imbued with intent. Fact 89. Vikings invented the ski. This ingenious invention allowed them to traverse snow-covered landscapes with ease. Picture longships gliding silently across winterscapes, their runners whispering through fresh snow. Fact 90. Ski races were held in Norway as early as the 13th century. Competitors would descend steep slopes, sometimes even wagering their lives on winning. Envision racers careening down icy chutes, their hearts pounding like thunder. Fact 91. Vikings kept pet polar bears. These magnificent beasts were brought back from raids and walked on leashes in Viking towns. Imagine a polar bear, its breath misting the air, being led through bustling streets by its proud owner. Fact 92. A trumpet called lure was used for signaling. Its haunting melody could be heard across vast distances, summoning warriors to battle or announcing important gatherings. Listen closely as the lure's call slices through the fog, its echoes resonating with ancient urgency. Fact 93. The Viking Age ended in 1066 at Stamford Bridge. Just days before the Norman conquest, this decisive battle marked the beginning of the end for Norse dominance in England. Feel the chill of that autumn day as Harold Godwinson faces off against his former ally, King Harald Hardrada. Fact 94. More than 3,000 Viking runestones still stand in Scandinavia today. These monuments to past glories bear witness to the enduring power of Norse culture. Walk among these ancient stones, their weathered faces whispering tales of long-departed heroes. Fact 95. The concept of thing lives on in Iceland's modern parliament. A direct descendant of the Viking Thing, Alþingi remains the world's oldest parliament still functioning today. Witness this unbroken line of democracy stretching back over 1,000 years. Fact 96. Vikings traded with Islamic lands. Exotic goods like silks and spices found their way into Norse homes via routes connecting the Caliphate to Scandinavia. Picture Viking merchants haggling in bustling markets, their furs exchanging hands for precious Eastern wares. Fact 97. The word windows comes from Old Norse vindorga, meaning wind eye. It was a reminder of the fierce weather outside these openings in sturdy Viking homes. Feel the draft around an open window, its cold breath whispering tales of winter's fury. Fact 98. Vikings were skilled navigators, using sunstones to find direction. These mysterious tools, possibly crystals that polarize light, helped sailors plot their courses even on cloudy days. Imagine a Viking ship cutting through waves under overcast skies, its crew consulting their sunstone with reverent precision. Fact 99. Norse humor often involved clever wordplay. Jokes and riddles were shared in mead halls, laughter echoing through the smoky air as wits clashed. Hear the roar of approval as a skilled jester weaves tales that tickle the ears and minds of his listeners. Fact 100. The Vikings left behind a legacy of innovation, exploration, and rich storytelling. Their spirit lives on in language, lore, and lore, woven into the very fabric of northern culture. As you drift off to sleep tonight, picture generations yet unborn who will marvel at your ancestors' indomitable spirit, their tales etched forever in the annals of history.